Hey folks, it's Rod with Power Group. Welcome back on the Pursuit of Wealth, your home for MJ Stocks, Crypto Assets, and Interviews. Today's Saturday, July 29th. Hope you're doing well. And in this video, we're going to be doing another edition of Rapid Fire News from July 22nd to 28th. We'll do a quick news update. And again, for those that are not familiar with this new format, basically I'm just going to go over all of the news that transpired over the last week. This isn't meant to go into deep details or anything like that. If you want to research it more on your own time, I'll just give you the high level overview and we'll try to keep this around 10 minutes. But before we get to it, make sure to smash the like, help support me in the channel. Let me know in the comments what you think of this new format, and make sure to subscribe, hit the bell, and you'll be notified on any future live streams or when I post a new video. And then, like I said, I usually do these rapid fire news updates on the weekend. Try to do it every Saturday when I can do it. Schumer says work continues on MJ banking bill as key senators dispute reason for the delay. And we know that there's an August recess coming up, so both the House and the Senate are closed completely. So action on the Secure and Fair Enforcement Safe Banking Act is on hold for at least a month as Congress takes a break for August. And then Schumer also touts good progress on MJ banking bill, saying it has always been a priority for me. So lawmakers are making good progress in bipartisan negotiations on an MJ banking bill, and advancing it will be a priority for what he's expecting to be a very, very productive fall in the Senate. A lot of people speculating that we could see this pass into the fall. I'm skeptical. I still think that HHS and reviewal and reclassification, either rescheduling or descheduling, I think rescheduling to Schedule 3 is the most likely. I think that's our most likely catalyst, but I'll take safe banking as well. And that's going to be very, very bullish, uplisting from the US MSOs to the NYSE and the NASDAQ. That's going to be bullish for the whole sector. But at a press conference focused on the passage of National Defense Authorization Act, NDAA, on Thursday, Schumer previewed his plans for the fall after lawmakers come back from the August recess, proactively mentioning the Safe Banking Act twice in a list of issues that the top lawmakers are working on. We're making good progress on safe banking, which, as you know, has always been a priority for me, he said. So there's a lot to do when we get back. So let's see. Not going to hold my breath, but we'll take it if we get it. No timeline on Biden administration MJ rescheduling, says DEA chief. So Biden administration has yet to provide the U.S. Drug Enforcement Administration a specific timeline to complete its review of MJ status under federal law, the agency's chief told members of Congress on Thursday. That prompted one lawmaker to vow to speed things along. We're going to get this moving, said U.S. Republican Rep. Steve Cohen, a Democrat from Tennessee. Last fall, President Joe Biden triggered an administrative review of MJ classification in the Controlled Substances Act. So we know that HHS is going to come back with a verdict, and it could be realistically into October, into November, into the fall here, into the end of the year. And like I said, I've been on record to say that I think at some point over the next 3 to 6 months, we're going to see a bottom be set in MJ stocks, and we're going to potentially start a new multi-year bull market. And again, I think this is the most likely outcome. But again, maybe we get safe banking, maybe we get rescheduling all in one go. And, who knows? Maybe greener times ahead. Maybe there's light at the end of the tunnel, and maybe it's more than just light. Maybe it's an alien invasion or something, because if we get safe banking, this and we get rescheduling, this could easily send things parabolic, right? We know that we've been beaten down for so long. And the reason why we get beaten down for so long, the reason why they drag a bear market on 2-3 years long, is so that the institutions can load up without creating a big rally, right? They just continue to bleed out. People get impatient, and they just do that for 1, 2, 3 years, and then they load up without really skyrocketing the price. And then when they're finally ready to let it go, they get their media friends involved, and they start printing MJ on the front pages, and then they get retail investors and the hype going in the space. And that's when we usually shoot up, right? 100, 200, 300% in no time, right? I'm talking in days and weeks when we've been just downtrending for years, right? So it's very, very close in my opinion. I think we're months away. Let me know if you agree with me in the comments. But Florida Attorney General asked Supreme Court for more time to reply in MJ legalization ballot case. So again, there's some very real possibility that Florida's Attorney General and Florida could potentially have this on the 2024 ballot, and this is massive for Florida. So the Attorney General is asking the state Supreme Court for another extension to file briefs in a case that will decide whether voters get a chance to consider MJ legalization initiative on the 2024 ballot. So that's another catalyst that we could be looking out for. We could see legalization of medical as well in the U.S., safe banking, rescheduling, descheduling, removal of 280E, depending on how that gets classified. So a lot of bullish catalysts in the near future here, I think, over the next 1 to 2 years. Ohio MJ legalization measure falls 679 signatures short of the November ballot, but activists now have 10 days to fix that. Moving on. Colombian lawmakers, this one surprised me. Colombian lawmakers introduced new MJ legalization bill 1 month after prior version stalled. So the details, Colombian lawmakers reintroduced the bill to legalize MJ nationwide for the upcoming legislative session, just 1 month after the previous version stalled out in the Senate and the final stage of an 8-step legislative process. And we know that safe banking's passed in the House many, many times, right? Like I think it's like 9 times, but it continues to stall in the Senate. And we need Mitch McConnell, all those anti-MJ that are, I would argue he shouldn't even be making laws anymore at his age. And they got to go, right? Vote him out. So Rep. Juan Carlos Losada, a senator, and Senator Maria Jose Pizarro announced on Monday that they're trying again to enact the reform. So fingers crossed there. As we know, Tilray Brands reported Q4 financial results. They had a massive beat in terms of revenue. They did miss an EPS, but I did a video on that. You can check that out. It's got about 1,000 views, but I've never been more bullish on this company, Tilray, Hexo, Redecan, Afria. This thing is an absolute powerhouse and juggernaut in the making, and I can't wait to see this take, top 3 global spot for the biggest MJ company in the world. I think it's going to be here, 5, 10 plus years from now, and that's really the goal of investing, trying to find a unicorn or 2 or 3 in a emerging market and upcoming industry and industry of the future and medicine of the future. I've just never been more bullish on this space and more grateful and thankful to be alive and just experiencing all this. But Aurora MJ announces sale of Aurora Sun facility to Bevo, expected to provide incremental revenue and cash flow. So the sale of Aurora Sun facility, and they just continue to liquidate facilities, right, and selling them for pennies on the dollar. But that just goes to show that you don't always want to be the first and the biggest, right? You want to kind of crawl before you run, so to speak. And it just goes to show that the companies that tried to be number one in production capacity, the companies that just kind of let it fizzle out and kind of in the middle of the pack. And then once they figured out how the market was actually going to react and, how much addressable market share and consumers, then, and the black market was a big issue as well, right? So it's not, you don't always want to be the best and the biggest right out of the gate, right? You want to make sure you do things in a slow and steady manner. And like they said, slow and steady wins the race usually, right? But the sale of Aurora Sun was completed via Bevo Farms' acquisition of one of Aurora's wholly owned subsidiaries. Aurora has a controlling interest in Bevo, but one of the largest suppliers of propagated vegetables and ornamental plants in North America. Body and Mind announces agreement to divest Ohio dispensary, and it actually was shooting up recently in terms of share price. So not too sure the logic behind that one, but likely just because all MJ has been shooting up, in my opinion. MJ operator Alifia enters creditor protection after a failed merger with RWB, so Red, White, and Bloom Brands. I did a video on that. You can check that out for more information. SNDL and Nova MJ extend outside date for closing of the strategic partnership. So the two companies announced that they will, while all other provincial approvals have been received, the continued review by one provincial regulator has necessitated a further extension of the outside date to the closing of the previously announced strategic partnership. SNDL and Nova anticipate that the transaction will close on or before August 25th, 2023, so next month, subject to receipt of regulatory approval and amendment to the certain terms of the transaction that are mutually satisfactory to SNDL and Nova. In addition, SNDL and Nova have extended the maturity date of Nova's revolving credit facility with SNDL to August 25th, 2023. Mary Jones announces first crossover flavor release with Jones Soda. So the original craft soda, known for its unconventional flavors and user-submitted photo labels, today announced that first crossover special edition flavor release with Jones Soda and Mary Jones brands. The new Hatch Chili and Lime Soda will be available from both brands this year, marking the first dual special flavor release between Jones and Mary Jones, an industry first in both categories. Jones was the first mainstream non-alcohol consumer brand to cross over into MJ market with Mary Jones in 2022, said Bob Lair, President, Emerging Brands at Jones. We're blazing the trail again with jointly releasing a special edition flavor across both markets with our new Hatch Chili and Lime Sodas. So, gotta love it. New Jersey MJ advocates question Curaleaf layoffs. So, as you know, there were some they've been reducing production in a state, and Curaleaf laid off 49 employees at its Winslow production facility earlier this month. I don't think there's anything to worry about here. It's one of my top 3 MJ holdings, and I'm very, very bullish on Curaleaf. Obviously not financial advice. This is for entertainment purposes only. I'm not a financial advisor. I'll never tell you to buy, sell, or hold, but I don't think there's anything to worry about there with some of that FUD that's being spread. Detroit opens second application period for MJ retail license as of August 1st. And We'll speed this along. CFOs depart TrueLeaf and Weed Maps at tough time for MJ. So tough times continue. Canopy Growth to report first quarter fiscal 2024 financial results on August 9th, 2023. Moving on, Schwaz sets second quarter 2023 conference call for August 9th, 2023. And that'll be at 5 p.m. for the second quarter ended June 30th. Moving along, Imperial Brands PLC extends $123 million convertible debenture, and Oxley implements board and management changes. I did a video on this one as well. You can check that out for more information on that. Cannara Biotech Inc. reported record Q3, mind you, 2023 financial results with net revenues of $15.9 million. Again, I just did a video on this one yesterday, so be sure to check that one out. That was an absolute banger. Never been more bullish on this company. Speaking of which, I did do a poll. A lot of people were saying August and September, but I did get confirmation that I'm going to be doing that on August 29th. So you can mark your calendar, August 29th, Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Going to have Nicholas Sosiak, the CFO of Cannara, on. If anybody does have any questions, please let me know. And hopefully going to have Zohar, the CEO, on this time as well. It'll be a live stream, so you'll be able to ask questions on the live stream as well. And for those of you that can't join the live stream, you can send me your questions in advance, and I'll do my best to get as many as I can answered. Also, I sent an email to Tilray. Going to try to get a interview with them at some point in the foreseeable future, so fingers crossed there. And also going to try to get Alex Foyer from Annalise MJ back on the line from Weed Crawler and Best Bang for Your Bud. I've done a couple of interviews with him, and I would really like to get him on for another live stream type format. It's been a while since we chatted. Aurora MJ to host first quarter fiscal year 2024 investor conference call as well, and that's going to be on August 10th, 2023 at 5 p.m. Did I mention when Cannabis was? Yeah, Cannabis is after market close on August 9th. I'm not sure if I mentioned that or not. And then it's 5 p.m. Eastern time for the conference call. Moving on, MasterCard ban on MJ debit card purchases rocks industry. High tide to open Canna-Cabana location in St. Thomas, Ontario, Canada's biggest market. Charlotte's Web Q2 2023 earnings call and webcast notice. So they will hold second quarter financial results prior to market open on August 10th, and conference call will be at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Kevin Durant says he lobbied the NBA to drop MJ ban, and NBA star Kevin Durant said commissioner smelled MJ on him as he advocated for ending THC testing for players. And then this was an update here from BBC News. Kevin Durant says everybody does MJ in NBA. It's so commonly used, it's like wine at this point. Snoop Dogg praised its health benefits, and it could help ease the opioids and pills that they've been given and the injections. Hashtag drugs policy. So amen to that. Study, THC and CBD spray effective for patients with refractory back and neck pain. Moving on. Minnesota adult use legalization law takes effect next week. That's exciting. And MJ use not associated with increased risk or either high blood pressure or hypertension. And then also animal runts from Rent-A-Can now available in Edmonton, Alberta. Only $17 for 3.5 grams with tax included. Canadian. That is insane. Smells, burns, tastes amazing. But this is by far their best flower. I challenge you to find a better flower at 31.4%. Like, it's an absolute no-brainer. And it's exciting. Good luck, small craft growers, now that the king's back in town. All right, going to end it there. Let me know what you think of this video in this new format. Let me know what you think of this news. Let me know if there's anything else you want to see in these videos or any other videos going forward, any other different formats, or if there's anything you'd like me to cover. I always love hearing from you. Going to end it there, though. It's Rob with Power Group. Thanks again for joining us on The Pursuit of Wealth. Hope you have a fantastic end to your weekend. See you on the next video.